Hey everybody, Unlucky Artist here, and today I'm going to do a video about the D Hill Amp East spawn in Save the World. So this is obviously a spawn that you only get if you place this particular amp, D Hill. I always hit the wrong button. Let me show you on the map. So I'm at the home base is up there at the top of the map. And this is in the southeast, the D Hill, and it's up a hill, hence its name. That means that both our spawns are downhill, which is nice. And so I will show you my builds tile by tile by tile. So as a side note, this is over-trapped because of all the annoying modifiers on D, and the other thing is that half the stuff gets blown up anyway because of hotspots. So probably if I was doing this from scratch again, I would do it a little bit differently, but I'm not. So basically the husks spawn around this part from here across and up here also, and I think down here. So these tiles don't get blown up actually, so they must spawn always back around this bit. And the majority of husks will come through this way here. So this is quite a nice little setup where I just keep pushing them down, and actually these traps hold right up to hotspots. But let me start by going around here. I have quite a few block offs, and this is purely just to stop the husks from walking up to the bottom of the dip amp spawn and then walking up here and then boom, they're right at the amp. So basically I have a block off here which I think is needed. It's just this tile. Probably don't need the ones beside because they're not going to get through there. They're also not going to get through here. I also have a block off here, and I have found in the past that flingers have come and stood underneath there, which is why there's that little ceiling. So you can see this is a few more tiles. It's like I go up top and count, but I think 3. So yeah, technically, if flingers are here, they're within range of the amp. So I just have these 2 tiles to stop them from coming up. Okay, so there's actually 4. This is like 4 tiles there that's blocking that side. And then there's a block off here as well, and there's one all the way down there. I don't think that is needed, actually. But the thing about experimenting to see whether they're not needed is that the first 2 times you run it, because of the spawns or whatever, it just won't be activated, and then suddenly, randomly, one time it won't work. So I've got, yeah, just 2 tiles here. And then it's the same over there. Those 3 tiles. Definitely the 3rd would not be needed, I'd say. I'm going to take it off. Yeah, I just don't see any of them coming this far around because they've got an accessible route through the tunnels. And even flingers aren't quite that determined. But so yeah, the most detailed block off is this one here, and then the others is just 2 tiles. There's 2 tiles there, and then there's 2 tiles up this way as well. So those are the block offs. As I said, this is the main approach. So I've got dance traps here and here, and I have 2 rows of drop traps, and those drop traps pretty much hold 5 waves really until they run out. We have another dance trap at the top. This is because these will run out kind of towards the end. The 2 floor spikes I throw husks down. This launcher doesn't get used hugely because most of the husks will cut this way. This dart will obviously get them wherever they're standing, so it'll get them the whole row. And I have a block off behind the dart, and also a ceiling as well. So the reason for the ceiling is to deter flingers, because the flingers, if there was this So if there was just this and this, they might be inclined to keep bashing through, and then they get a place to throw. But when the ceiling's there, then they don't bother bashing through because they're never going to stand and bash the ceiling. So they're just going to keep walking through the tunnels. So we've got a launcher here to throw back. We've got darts. We've got another wooden spike, and then we have some tar pits. Now, if we don't have hotspots, then the husks will all be dead by here. If we have hotspots, what happens is this entire area, let me jump up and show you, this from here to here is completely destroyed. Almost always we get a hotspot right here, and we sometimes will get a hotspot over here as well. So basically what you're left with is this final row here. That's why I put them in, because they're not needed unless you get the hotspots of these broadsides, gas and tar, and they're basically just to nuke any husks if hotspots destroy the tunnels. So on the middle approach, the husks come up here. They're hit by just one drop. You could have a second if you wanted. There'd be nothing wrong with it. They're hit by a sound wall somewhere. I probably overdid it with sound walls. They're pushed back. Floor spike, also push back, and this launcher will push them all the way off here. So then they have to do it again. Ceiling electric, dart, and now we're back into this tunnel here. Yeah, but as I said, this bit gets blown up as well. Everything gets blown up in hotspots. So if I was doing this again from scratch, I probably would trap it a little bit differently based on that knowledge, but yeah, so if you wanted to experiment, then you could run hotspots a few times, make a note of where it's gonna come through, and then trap there. So here we have, this is the kind of single line. We've got drop, drop, dance, floor spike, dance. There's too many dances. Broadside, broadside, floor spike again. This is because they'll have been slowed here. It lasts for this tile, and then they need slowing again. They've got another drop there. It's a bit low, to be honest. You could just do an electric. It would also be fine. Gas, launcher, dart, floor spike, tar, tar. Launcher is going to push them back to here. It's not, I mean, it's not amazing, but dart, dart. And we're running into the tunnels from the other side here, so I won't bother talking about them. Just watch the other video. And as I said, gas, and then we do have drops here. I find the tornado, I'll show you what I've done here to stop the tornado destroying this whole section, which is I've basically used metal. I first did it with wood, it never lasted with wood. So I've got tier 3 metal, a floor here, and 2 walls here, and that kind of connects this bit, because what the tornado was doing was it was destroying this wall, and then everything was kind of falling, so I had to like connect it all together. Because again, sometimes by the end, depending on where the hotspots are and so on, then you can get husks that actually make it all the way through to here, and these drops just deal with them. So again, that's why there's no traps here. They're not really needed, but they're just holding those in place. I suppose you could technically get rid of it because it's the ceiling that's holding it in place, but there's several points holding it in place for that reason. Yeah, and ideally they'd be one tile higher as well, wouldn't they? So that is everything on this side. What I would also highlight is this bit is all block offs, and let me show underneath it. So basically, again, it often disappears because of hotspots, but yeah, all this lot is blocked off. So I don't technically, anything that's covered in wood or brick, I don't have any traps underneath that. It's all just block offs. So yeah, and this bit in the middle, let me see if I can get through. Oh, here we go. So this is like a kind of little cave that runs from the tunnels. I've blocked off here. I just put a wall here, and another ramp here, and then we're into the tunnels again. So that's how I've sort of blocked it off. I haven't, to be honest, ever had an issue of husks trying to get through that middle tunnel. You could always trap the tunnel if you want, but as I said, because the husks don't naturally walk through it, then it's probably a waste of traps. Yeah, so that is my tile by tile, and of course we've got the amp trapped however you want it. I do find the mini bosses tend to come into this corner or this corner, which is why they're kind of set up the way they're set up. Yeah, this is kind of ceilinged out as much as I had the patience to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's only done at 9. I initially, so the issue you have here is with safety zone. Let's say there's a safety zone that's here, whatever. Technically, lobbers will throw from like 9 tiles, or lobbers throw from 4 or 5 tiles, and flingers will throw from 9 tiles of this tile in that case. So when you have safety zone and a lobber wave, which is how they tend to run safety zone, then sometimes lobbers can trash part of your tunnels. But I experimented with so many different tunnel setups and I didn't find one that actually worked. So what I've done is I just have some anti-airs down spread out here in the event of safety zone and the lobbers finding a way that they can target. This isn't going to kill flinger stuff, it's just going to kill lobber stuff, the way that these are trapped. You can see as well on the far side, this is where my tunnels kind of run into each other, but I'll cover this section in the video for D Hill South. So that is D Hill East. Yeah, to be honest, I haven't had many issues with this particular spawn at all. Even though there are lots of annoying aspects of it, it tends. I don't think I've ever had the mission fail on this spawn. D South is a little more problematic, but I'll get to that in the next video.